So I'm not sure if this is going to be uploaded first or second, but this is a bonus video for you guys today. I just wanted to kind of get some thoughts out and vent. If you guys follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you would have already heard a lot of this. But lately, there's been a lot of Fall Out Boy in, you know, the press, a lot of news, a lot of interviews, things like that. And, you know, that's going to be happening a lot, you know, with this next year probably. And what I've noticed specifically today, after reading some comments, you know, after different interviews and things, people are getting ready to give this album a whole lot of hate. And this, okay, so I know a lot of you guys were not fans during Folie. Some of you too young, some of you just never discovered Fall Out Boy, whatever the case, it doesn't matter. But I was a diehard fan during Folie, during that era. Folie had the worst reception probably of any successful band I've ever seen. Like, it was even worse than Pretty Odd with Panic at the Disco. It was horrible to be a fan of Fall Out Boy at that time. The hate was insane. Like, fans would boo them. Like, you know, the internet was pretty new at the time, but it still had the same kind of thing. Like, thankfully, like, people couldn't, like, tweet at them. Well, actually, I do think they could. I think they did back in the day. I don't think it was as big as it is now. But it was horrible. The reception was horrible. And the sad thing was, the critics praised the album. And I see the pattern happening again. It's happening again. It's, like, really scary deja vu. Like, some early reviews of the album have come out. I'll link them below. So you guys can check them out. But the critics are just praising this album. It's just so much better and above American Beauty, American Psycho. So that's what Folie was. Like, critics praised Folie more than any other Fall Out Boy record pre-hiatus. And I feel like this is it's gonna do the same thing. And those of you who are like, it's not Folie, it's not the same thing, the music is just bad. Critics, not YouTube critics, because, you know, you're not a real music critic yet. Maybe one day, but right now you're just a YouTube critic. Real critics that write for magazines, things like that. Not just like, you know, alternative music magazines. Like, it's whatever. But real music critics are praising this album, saying it's amazing, and that's what they did with Folie, and it's just scaring me because it's literally, it's the same thing. And one of my biggest pet peeves, like, I haven't even really mentioned this, and it's not anybody's fault, it's just a pet peeve of mine. When people say, my favorite album is Folie, and it really makes me mad that the band never wants to play it, and I don't understand why the band doesn't want to talk about it, and I don't understand why when Pete ranked the albums that Folie is towards the bottom, it should be higher. You know what? In their minds, and those of us who were fans back then, I understand why it's where it is. Who would want, especially back then, they were like 20, 25, 26 years old, to go from having a fan base that loves them and is with them to hating on them, and not just hating on them, hating it with a passion, telling them they're horrible. That was a horrible, horrible, horrible time. I understand why Fall Out Boy doesn't want to play any songs from Folie. I understand why they don't like talking about it, because the reception was so terrible and so hurtful and so mean. It pisses me off. Like, those of you who are younger and love Folie, this is not towards you at all. This is for those who claim Folie is their favorite album now and hated on it back then. And, you know, if you admit that you made a mistake, like, there are some people who, like, yeah, I didn't understand it back then, you know, fine. You made a mistake, that's whatever. But it's the people who just dismiss it. Like, it was most of Fall Out Boy's fan base that hated it. So, then there's plenty of you still out there. So, to lie about it, it just rubs me the wrong way. Those of you who are fans of Fall Out Boy back then know why they don't play any songs from Folie. It's all of your fault. It is. It's simple as that. And if Mania gets that reception, and it's a great album, like, I'm not saying, like, if Mania is like a subpar album, obviously it can get whatever reaction it's supposed to get. But if this is another Folie, I swear, I think Fall Out Boy can handle it this time. But if this is a masterpiece of an album that won't get appreciated till 10 years down the line, I'm just done. Like, I don't want to be making a video like this 10 years later being like, I told you. I freaking told you. But what it seems like, this album is an experimentation. It's going to be a lot like Folie. Every song's going to be different. I feel like it's going to be amazing. I'm excited about the reviews. I'm sorry this is all over the place, but I'm just sick. I'm sick of it. I'm just so sick of it. And I don't... okay, I just need to stop now because I'm losing my shit. It just makes me so mad. Like, I hated... You know, because you know how I am now. I defend everything they do. Because I think the reason I defend everything they do is because I remember how much hate they got back then. It was so horrible. Alright, well, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure you guys check out my other video. I'll link it in the eye, which is over here. I'll link it in the eye. American Beauty, American Psycho album review today. I'm not doing it on Friday because Expensive Mistakes was supposed to come out on Friday, but it's coming out tonight. So, damn. I'll probably, instead of doing a video on Friday, I'll do a video tomorrow and review Expensive Mistakes and the music video and talk about that. If you guys have any thoughts on what I mentioned in this video, just let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell. And I will see you guys. I don't know if you watched this video first or second, but there's another video. If you didn't watch the video already, I'll see you guys now. But if you did, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Alright, bye.